Thank you for joining me on the mat. My name is Basanti, and in today's rather short video, we'll be aiming for 15-20 minutes. I'm going to take you through a lot of back bends, and there'll also be a focus on core strength, both of which will be quite handy if you're suffering from a slipped disc. So without further ado, we'll be coming down into our back and hug the right knee in towards us. Just send that left leg away from you and get comfortable on the ground. Take a few deep breaths here, really relax your upper back. And then start feeling that relaxation in every part of the back as you move your right knee over to the right and then take it back in. Just nice and gently here. Good, just getting some movement going. And as we move, we breathe deeply into the lower belly. And we breathe out slowly. And on your next exhale, whenever that is, come into a gentle twist, bringing that right knee over to the left and turning your head to the right. And keep that knee wherever it's comfortable. Yes, the knee can come down into the ground, but that might just be too deep. And you want to make sure that your right shoulder is still on the ground. Good. And while we're here, why not take a deep breath into that right side of the body here. And on an exhale, we come back, nice and slowly, adjust your hips, buttocks firmly onto the ground, stretch that right leg away from you, and hug your left knee in towards you. So you should feel your lower back on the ground here. Feel that relaxation in every part of your back. And then focus on your breath again. And as you breathe those deep breaths, just shift that knee from side to side, going out to the left and then back in. And without any force, without any pressure. This is really just a gentle exercise for your body here. Feel yourself warm up a little bit. Feel the inner thigh. Starting the outer thigh as well, here the hip. Very good. And from here, deep breath in. On the exhale, bring that left knee over to the right. Little tip if you want to go deep, but it's fine if you don't. Before you go over, shift your right hip over to the left a little bit more. Then you're twisting a little bit deeper. So this might not be for you. Again, I want you to be comfortable here. I want you to be able to breathe in exactly the way that you did before. So feel that breath here. Left hand can rest on the left waist if that's helpful. Good, and then from here we slowly come onto our back again. Feet come in towards us, and we have both knees in towards us, and take a moment to straighten the legs. And from here, interlock the hands behind you, keep your arms and your shoulders completely relaxed, and then lower your right leg, maybe to about halfway. Maybe you feel like you want to go further down. Make sure that your lower back is firmly on the ground here, so no rising. And then we do the same on the other side, lowering that left leg, maybe bringing it all the way down. You should feel this in your core. And if you're unsure how much you feel and if it's too much, maybe you want to get more of a sense of what's going on here by bringing the hands onto your stomach. Now we'll do the same thing again, lowering that right leg to wherever it's comfortable. Now make sure that there's still movement here. You still want to feel the breath go in and out. Stomach going up and down. No matter where that leg is, that doesn't change. And then we'll slowly bring that right leg up. We'll do the same on the left side, lowering that left leg to wherever we are still comfortable, where we feel the lower back still in touch with the ground, where we feel that there's still movement here. Probably a little bit less because we're engaging the core, but that should not mean that we're just using our clavicular and intercostal breath, so anything above the abdomen. Good. Deep breath in. And we exhale and go up again. Now if you need a little break here, hug the knees in towards you. You might not need a break. And now a little bit stronger, send both legs away from you. If you feel that that's a problem and you're raising your lower back off the ground, stay with just one leg going down. And if you're okay, both legs at the same time. Again, lower back firmly on the ground, core engaged, but not so engaged that we can't breathe into the lower abdomen here. And of course, you're okay to have the hands underneath the back of the head as well. We take a deep breath in, and on the exhale we go up. Now if you did just one leg lowering, then it will have been the right leg, then lower just the left leg, and if you were with me and lowered both legs, then go ahead and lower both legs and go to wherever it's comfortable for you. Deep breaths. And I know I'm doing this for Mia in particular. If you're saving this and you want to do this more often and get your strength up and everything, then a good way to start is with just one leg, raise the leg, and then at some point go to two legs at the same time. Hug your knees in towards you and gently rock from side to side. And then from here bring the feet onto the ground and come onto the right side of the body. And then use your left hand to push yourself up. Keep your back straight as you come up to seated. And we're going to roll the shoulders to the back a few times. Now we're going to bring that right hand onto the ground, left arm rises, and on an exhale we reach that arm over. Deep breath into the side here, and exhale, come back. Inhale, raise the right arm, exhale, reach it over. Good, and we drop our head here, and we raise the head towards the ceiling, and we look to the hand, and we come back. And from here, we bring the legs to the other side. So if you go to the right, knees go to the left. Nice and straight in the spine here. Roll the shoulders to the back a few times. So we won't be doing any asanas or downward dogs or anything like that. So we don't need as much warm up here in the shoulders. But it's a good idea to do it anyway. Now from here, inhale, raise your right arm. And exhale, reach over. Deep breath into the side body, and we exhale and come back. Right hand goes into the ground, left arm rises, and on an exhale we take ourselves over. Not too far, we should stay comfortable and take care not to round your back, especially if you've got slip disc issues. Now slowly drop your gaze, look down to the ground. On an inhale, raise your head. Look over towards your hand, and then exhale and bring your hand down. From here, bring the hands onto the ground and come onto all fours. And we're going to start by bringing the knees apart and the feet together. We're going to shift our hips towards the back and bring the arms to the front, trying to get our chest to touch the ground. Don't worry if that's not the case. Just bring your forehead to the ground if that's more comfortable, if the chest is off the ground. If you're comfortable with your chest on the ground, then you can bring your chin onto the ground. Good. And from here, raise your hips. Reach the arms forwards. Keep your chest low. If you are higher, then use your forearms here, but raise the hips and keep your chest as low as you can. Again, some of you will be able to have the chin and chest on the ground, but if you don't, if that chest is hovering over the ground, relax your forehead down onto the ground here. Good. Just another 2 deep breaths here. And then on the exhale, come up onto your forearms, onto your hands. Good. And bring the knees a little bit further in towards you. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to inhale and arch the back and look to the front. And from here, we're going to inhale and raise our right leg. Very good. And we can stay here or we can bind. This might challenge your balance a little bit too much. Don't worry if it does. So right hand, left hand, right foot. Gosh. And then we're going to raise that knee and we turn our head to the left and maybe even look towards the back foot here. Again, if this is too much for balance, keep your hands on the ground and just raise that right leg, okay? Very nice. Can we take a deep breath in here? And slowly exhale. And we keep that little arch in our back here and keep looking to the front. On the next inhale, we're going to raise that left leg nice and high, as if the foot wanted to touch the head. And we can stay here, keep your shoulders strong as well. So this is where that warming up comes in handy. Push the shoulders away. Good. And push into the hands. And if you want, you can do a bind here as well, grabbing hold of your left foot, raising that left knee and looking towards the right, or maybe even all the way towards the back. Just see what's comfortable for your neck here as well. Good. And a nice deep breath in. And as we slowly exhale, we come back down. And back into tabletop pose, so no longer arching, but there will be that natural arch, a natural C curve that we've got here in our spine. Good. Shoulders still strong. And we're going to send that right leg to the back, pointing toes, and we're going to send that left arm to the front. Very good. Now I want you to make sure that the hip here doesn't go up, but that we're pushing it down. And we release. We bring the left leg to the back. This time I mean the left leg. And we bring the right arm to the front. And again, don't open up the hip in any way. Gently push that hip down. The hips are still aligned here. That leg is going up, but only until it's parallel to the ground, no higher than that. And we release. Brilliant. From here, knees underneath the hips. And then bring that right hand to the left hand so that your thumbs touch. And then bring that left hand underneath the right arm so that your hands are crossed here in front of you. From here, find your balance, engage your core, and send the right leg to the back. Same on the left side. Engage your core, stabilize your hips, send the left leg to the back. And release. Same on the other side now. So right hand comes back, left hand comes back. And we're going to start bringing that left hand over to the right, and then that right arm comes underneath. We're going to start with that left leg going up and towards the back. Shoulders are strong, arms are strong, and the head is relaxed. So we should look down here, just keeping our cervical spine as an extension of the rest of the spine. Good, and we release. And we do the other side. Right leg goes to the back. You might very well find that one side is easier than the other. It's easier with one leg, it's easier with one arm in front. Good, and we release. And from here, bring the hands back to where they were. And slowly make your way all the way down onto the ground. But before we go all the way down, we're going to do an Ashtanga Namaskar. So 8 parts of the body saluting the ground. Bring the elbows in towards you. Drop the chest and chin. Keep your hips high. And then come all the way down onto the ground. Very good. Interlock the hands here. Squeeze your shoulder blades and raise your torso. Feet still on the ground. We're going to inhale and raise the legs as well. Take a few deep breaths here and really feel that breath in your lower abdomen. And then exhale and come down. Grab hold of your feet knees together, feet together. Inhale and come up. Very good. Hold here for a few deep breaths. You can go higher as well, but don't overdo anything. And on your next exhalation, I want you to drop onto your right side. Good. We're going to stay here and take deep breaths. We'll come back onto the front of the body. Inhale and go up. And stay here for a little bit, because why not? And we'll do the same on the other side. A little bit further over to the right so you can still see me. Drop over towards the left, onto the left side of the body. Good, and then we slowly come onto the front of the body again, releasing the legs and bringing the hands right next to the chest. We're going to push into the hands, bringing our torso up, looking to the front. Now slide your shoulders down and push the elbows towards your side body here. Good, nice and slowly come back down. Bring the forearms onto the ground and tuck your toes under. From here, a little bit of core work as well. We're going to take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, our body stays in one straight line as we push ourselves up onto our forearms. Good. It's nice and gentle forearm plank. If things get too much, the knees come to the ground. Good. Take deep breaths here. And then slowly release. Hands come onto the ground next to the chest. We're going to come up. And from here, send that right knee to the right foot, to the right hand. Bring that hand to the foot. I was one step ahead of myself. And push that foot over towards the left side as much as you can. But make sure that you don't open up to the left. If you do, bring that foot further in towards you. Now push that hip down and bring the hands onto the ground. Now some of us might be quite far here over, but I want you to straighten your spine as much as you can. So I've got blocks here, and those will be helpful just to rest your hands on. Hands should be somewhere in line with the hips, or not too close, or not too far away from them, because if they're somewhere around there, you're dropping forwards, and then you risk rounding your back. So I want you to feel a pinch in your lower back here. And of course, this is good for your hips as well, obviously. But you'll probably have noticed that by now. If you don't need these, the blocks or your hands on the ground, then what you can do as well is interlock the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades, and even look up to the ceiling here. Good. And we'll bring the hands down. And bring that right leg back, and we send the left knee to the front, knee to the left hand, and foot to the right side. But only as far as is comfortable. Remember, align the hips, push that right hip down. Some of us might have to put a block or a book or something underneath that left hip as well, and that's fine. And then wherever you are, get some straightness into your spine. Shoulders right above the hips. Again, using your blocks, or you can bring the hands onto that leg if that's helpful, if they need to be a little bit higher. If you're a big fan of raising the arms here in rajkapohtasana, that's fine as well. But you can if you want to, if you don't need your hands for support. Also open up the chest nicely here. Of course, we've done that in our dhanurasana as well, in our bow pose, when we were holding onto the feet and then dropping to the side as well. Good. And then slowly release. And from here, push yourself up. Send the legs to the back. Drop your hips. Good. And then you can decide whether you need the arms far further forwards, whether you want the forearms to be on the ground or maybe on some blocks or something, and then open up to the left. Bring that left knee forwards and push your hip down. Keep looking to the front. See how that feels in your back. Good. And we release here, and we go the other way. Right knee coming forwards, and then we drop that right hip as well, looking to the front. Good, and we release here and come onto the front of the body. Forearms onto the ground, elbows underneath the shoulders, tuck your toes under one more time, come into a forearm plank. And hold here, nice and relaxed, deep breaths. And if it gets too much, bring the knees to the ground. Again, you can do this more and more often in this video, and as you do, you'll notice yourself getting more and more strong in your core, and also hopefully some pain relief in your back, more flexibility in there. Okay, now from here, knees to the ground, feet together, knees apart, as we push the hips to the back. We drop the head if we want, or we bring the chest and chin onto the ground. And nice and slowly come up to seated. You can stay seated on your heels here, or you can come into a cross-leg position, Shukrasana, happy pose, easy pose. We're going to close the eyes. We'll roll the shoulders to the back. And we're going to take a deep breath in and sigh out. And two more like that. And then we rub our hands together. We place the palms over our face, open the eyes if they were closed, and we bring the hands to our heart center. Thank you very much for joining me. I know that was a little bit longer than I said. I hope you stayed with me, and I'll see you soon.